You know, I get sent a lot of phones, or at least a lot of phone offers on this channel. A lot of them I turn down unless I feel like they have something to offer you guys. So today we're here to check out the Shark 3 by 8849. Now guys, I've been using this thing for a couple of months now. I really meant to do this review sooner, but things got a little busy, so I've had a lot of time to play with this, play games with this, take videos. And if you're looking for a rugged smartphone that's gonna last you many days on a single charge, then stick around. So let's do a quick walk around on the phone first. So coming in, of course, we have the beautiful AMOLED LED screen running at 120 Hertz. Coming around to the first side, you have your volume up, volume down. You have your dual SIM card and SD card expansion slot. Then you have your mega flashlight button, which is honestly pretty awesome. Then, coming down the line here, you have this button right here. This button is fully programmable. You can kind of set it to whatever you want. You can see you have full metal sides with some rubber on top and bottom. It's going to be kind of a defensive position for the phone. So if you drop it, much less likely to break. You can see here, you have a lot of space in between the glass and wherever it's going to hit. The glass itself is actually underneath a small lip right here that's going to protect it even if it falls on its face. Coming around to the bottom, you do have a nice rubber gasketed hole for your USB Type-C 120 watt and your 3.5 millimeter headphone jack. Love to see it. And then you have this nice little lanyard attachment point right here. Coming around to the other side, you're going to have a full metal side again with 4 screws holding this side together. And this is your power/fingerprint button right here. Coming around to the top, you have all sorts of different light sensors, IR sensors, barometric pressure. Like, this thing really keeps track of your surroundings, as well as having an accelerometer built in. Then here on the back, you can see the carbon fiber inlays, the multi-camera setup, which is, it's all behind glass. And then here is the gigantic flashlight array. Now that is in fact a nice plastic, but that is not glass. So you potentially could damage that with a strong enough impact, but it feels pretty tough. Now, as far as the bend test goes, guys, there is zero flex. I mean, this thing, look how thick it is. This thing's an absolute monster. Comparing it to my S24 Ultra, I'd say it's about 2.5 times as thick. And about that in weight too, but you're gonna get that when you have a battery capacity of almost 12,000 milliamp hours. So first, let's go ahead and talk about the basic specs. Included in the box, you have a 120 watt PD fast charger with a USB-C to USB-C cable. As you guys can see, I've already had this out. I have been using this quite a bit. Then of course, you have yourselves a little bit of a literature in the box. So coming into the phone here, as well as the 120 watt fast charging, you also have 5G, a Dimensity 8300 processor. Now, to explain what that means. Compared to the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 that's in the S24 Ultra, this is only about 30% slower than a flagship $1,600, $1,700 Samsung phone. So keep that in mind. So the price point is going to come in between $450 and $500 depending on shipping to your door. So this is a lot of phone for a little bit of price. All right, so the screen you're gonna get at that price point is probably one of the biggest selling points for me. This is a 120 Hertz, 1440 by 3200 AMOLED LED screen. Pretty sure it's the same screen they use in the Xiaomi 14. Again, a lot of my US viewers aren't gonna know what that is, but the European viewers, you're gonna understand. The clarity and the brightness on this screen, here, let's crank it all the way up. It comes with this shark wallpaper in the back, a little gimmicky, but it looks so crisp. So now, obviously, okay, nice AMOLED screen, but why is it so thick? That is because this thing comes with an 11,600 milliamp hour battery that will last you for, no joke, days. I use this thing for gaming and YouTube and all sorts of other stuff for, I think it was 4 days straight before I had to charge it again. And at 120 watts, it charged in just about 2 hours. So jumping right into the phone here, this is the stock apps that come on the phone right here. Minus the Tower War, that is the only thing I've added to this phone. So I like that their software isn't bloated. It doesn't come with a bunch of junk on it, a bunch of extra add-ons. I did notice there's a game up there called Block Blast, but considering how most companies nowadays, especially the lesser known ones, are gonna come with like 40 different random apps in there that you don't need and will never use. Bing, I'm talking to you. I don't want to use Bing. Please stop putting it on my phone. So a couple other really cool features. It does have an NFC card feature. You can go in here, you can add your cards in as you see fit. But now circling back, so that battery size, 11,600 milliamp hours, is a lot of juice. Now keeping that in mind, this thing does also support reverse charging. So if we look here, have it plugged in, it is immediately charging my phone. Now it is fast charging, it is not ultra fast reverse charging. That probably wouldn't be good for either device to, heat dissipation and all that. But it's nice to know, nice to have. So now just because they sent this to me, doesn't mean it's all sunshine and rainbows. I do have a few qualms with this phone. They're not huge, but they do exist. And you guys know, even if a company sends me something, I'm gonna let you know what I really think. All right guys, coming up next, we have something that I believe might be illegal. So this is max volume. This one is in the top 10. So make sure to stick around to the end of this video. All sugar. So the audio is not great. That's kind of the quick point I'm getting to. The audio is very muffled. That goes with them wanting to make this a really solid IP68 phone. You're not going to deal with any kind of water intrusion. It appears as though sound is only coming from these two holes right here in the back. So in the back here, you have multiple camera sensors. You have a 50 megapixel Samsung sensor for your primary video and photo. Then you have a 50 megapixel telephoto and a 64 megapixel night vision sensor. We're gonna be testing those out here in just a little bit, so stick around for that. Now, I did have a small problem with the stability. It is not the stablest camera in the world, but again, we will go further into that here in just a minute. I'm gonna show you guys some real world examples of these. So I've had a problem with the fingerprint sensor a little bit. Even though I put my fingerprint in multiple times, you'll see here that I gotta get it just right. There it goes. So when it works really fast, it's quick, it's on. This is not a slow phone, this thing is snappy. I played a whole bunch of games on it. I did remove a bunch of them. Tower Wars was the latest one that I've been playing. It doesn't get hot. It doesn't get slow. It just kind of goes. Now, a lot of times in these videos, I do get the question, will this work on this brand? Will this work on this brand? Guys, what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to put a list in the description that is going to show you the different networks and cell phone signals that this will work on. What you do is you type in what type of network is T-Mobile, Verizon, AT&T, whatever company you happen to use, check them out. I did personally test this on Mint Mobile. That is my go-to test. I keep an extra SIM card around activated just for testing these phones. Coming into the side here, you can see we do have a micro SD card, dual SIM card slots. So traveling a lot, if you have multiple numbers, well, you have multiple slots for SIM cards. Now, this does also work with an eSIM, as do most modern phones. All right, guys, for the front-facing camera, we're going to test it right here inside. Now, the front-facing camera does max out at 1080p, and I'm not quite sure how well it handles all of this kind of lighting, but quality overall doesn't seem too bad. Again, we're just running into that slight lack of a little bit better image stabilization. All right, guys, this is the rear-facing main camera. This is a 50 megapixel Sony sensor. I'm doing some walking around so we can test out the image stabilization. The wind is blowing. There are quite a few cars going by. So we'll get a good idea on how well the audio quality works as well. Hey buddy, what are you doing? All right guys, the best way to show this, I can show you a still picture, but as you can see, the room is completely dark. But yeah, look how clear this infrared night vision is. Like, that is impressive. Again, as you can see, my phone cannot see anything. That is too cool. The video quality outside, nice light, it is crisp. The night vision, super cool add-on. Most people definitely don't have something like that in their day-to-day phone, but this isn't your average day-to-day phone, but it really does have some crazy impressive specs for being under $500. Now, when it comes to phones like this, what I would love to see a little bit more work put into the cameras. I still think this is an absolutely phenomenal deal for under $500, especially with the processor, the RAM, 512 gigabytes of ROM storage. Truly, all around, this has mostly flagship features for about a third of the price. So with that said, I really do think this is a good deal. I think if you guys are looking for your next rugged phone, something with a really cool flashlight, a ton of battery life, and my favorite part, a phenomenal screen. Like that AMOLED is just absolutely phenomenal. Then I think you should highly check out the 8849 Shark 3. Thanks to them for sending this over. I appreciate you, and we'll see you on the next one.